Breakfast with Sonia Watson and Ben Fryer. This is BBC Essex.
Dog in the studio alert, dog in the studio alert. We all love our dogs, but one Essex student has a dog that really does help her with her life.
Elizabeth Draper is a student at Writtle University College and is with us in the studio with her medical detection dog, Henry. So Elizabeth and Henry, good morning to you. Henry's chilling out very much so in the studio. He's a good dog, isn't he?
Yep, he's super relaxed.
So tell us what Henry does to help you.
So I have a condition called POTS. It basically makes me black out any time of the day. Basically, when I'm upright, my heart rate increases and my blood pressure drops and I drop, basically. So Henry will alert me to impending blackouts or palpitations, dizziness or semi-blackouts. So he'll jump up at me and I can sit down in a safe place and it's all quite relaxed and chilled rather than dropping to the floor and hurting myself.
How does he know?
So I had to take breath and sweat samples when I met him, and obviously there's a change in my breath or my sweat, and he can alert up to about 5-7 minutes, and that's plenty of time for me to sit down in a safe place.
And he just jumps, he will act in the same way every single time.
Yep.
He will jump up at you, will he, and try
Yep.
and sort of tell you to sit down.
Yeah, so when I first got him, he was a little bit more shy, so he would sit down and stare at me and he'll paw at me, but obviously I was ignoring those signals he was giving me, so he escalated it to jumping up, and if I still don't pay attention to him when he's jumping up, he'll start getting a little bit more angry at me and he'll get a bit more gruffy and a bark at me, so he's very persistent.
What came first, Henry helping you with the condition, or the condition that he learnt to help with? Did you get him as a result of your condition?
Yeah. So okay. I started having blackouts about 8 years ago, and then I got diagnosed about 4 years ago, and then I was actually at uni when I found out about medical detection dogs. I was in a lecture actually with my friends, and we were all getting very excited because we're like, oh, there's a dog that could help me. So yeah.
So Henry goes everywhere with you?
Yep, he's my little shadow. Anywhere I go, he goes. Even to the toilet, he'll barge right in. No privacy around Henry.
It's a bit like having kids, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Henry and how much he's changed your life?
Oh, he's my little wet-nosed knight in shining armour. He really is. He's like a little ray of sunshine. Before him, I had no independence. I felt super lonely. I felt anxious all the time. I couldn't leave the house without someone babysitting me. I felt like my life was on pause almost. I saw my friends growing up to be adults and moving out, getting fiancés, being adults, and I just felt like a child still. So when he came into my life, I pressed play on my life again, and it's allowed me to go back to education. It's allowed me to have a life rather than just sitting at home being scared, basically.
How does it feel, the fact that the thing that's completely transformed your life is a dog?
Oh, it's great because I love animals. I love dogs. I've always been an animal person. I'm studying animal science, so the thing that could turn my life around, being a dog, was just, the best thing possible for me.
And when you have no warning when you're about to have a blackout, apart from Henry,
Yep.
If Henry wasn't there, you would have no clue that this
zero.
was going to happen.
Maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Before Henry, I'd feel flutter for 1 or 2 seconds, and then I might be able to get a sound out, and whoever was next to me, I just grabbed onto and sometimes took them out with me, so I'll just drop immediately.
Is it quite common?
It's not that common, but it's not rare. It occurs more in women than men. All the other dogs with the medical detection dogs who are POTS dogs are all women, but it's probably more common than you think it is.
He's very relaxed now, but he would instantly, the moment he sensed a change in you, he would spring to life.
Yep.
How does he get taught to do that?
It's just scent training. So he went through 6 weeks of scent training. Obviously, I gave scents to medical detection dogs and little pots, and so they put my scent in with lots of other different scents, so control scents, and he had to pick out my scent every single time. And when he was on it 100% of the time, then he was ready to be partnered with me.
And this is it. You're partnered with Henry.
Yep, it's been a year now. Last February, I got partnered with him properly. So yeah, it feels like.
Is he going to get a little a Valentine's Day doggy treat or something
yeah,
later?
Definitely. He's the only man in my life that I ever need.
He's very reliable, isn't he?
I mean, what is that like? If you're going out on a date or whatever. By the way, the dog comes everywhere I go.
Oh yeah.
Are men quite happy with that you meet?
Oh yeah, like. Hen comes first.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Henry in the studio, and he is very cute. So I don't think many people. Well, we were more than happy to have him with us in the studio today.
Well, I've had guys come up to me and thinking they're going to chat me up, and they're chatting Hen up. They just want to stroke him.
See you relaxed and happy and giggling, which, as you've said earlier, may not have been the case a little while back before you had Henry. Oh, it's really nice to see. Thank you for joining us, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth Draper and Henry. And Henry is, what breed is he?
He's a Golden Labrador.
A Golden Labrador.
Now, we have had several dogs in the studio for interviews over the years, and I have to say, I think Henry, hands down, is the best behaved.
He hasn't moved. No microphones. And that's why I was so surprised about how he'll instantly change his behaviour from being in that relaxed position. But he does get quite a bit of walking, I guess, doesn't he? Because he follows Lizzie wherever she goes. So just having a little rest now in the studio. Thanks for joining us, Lizzie. Well done to Henry, the dog that's transformed the Anglia Ruskin University student's life. It's just coming up to 7:45.
Travel news from BBC Essex.
Let's get the